Nation, you're streaming on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all the main things, Zoom here. And oh, this didn't start. There it is. There it is. No, it didn't start. Fuck. Okay. Sorry, there was a problem with your broadcast. Okay, well, whatever. That channel doesn't get to go. So, what's up, everybody? I was going to talk about game, living here at IMC Vegas, the main hub of game in the world, really, because we got the number one player, AZD, with all his girlfriends. They're all super fine. And the way he does it is just unbelievable. Like living mastery of energies, psychology, and really the core desire of men, which is women. And it's a science, man. It's a cause effect. It's not unexplainable. And something that I like actually that I come across with a lot of guys is they don't want to do gimmicks or be fake to get a girl. They don't want to game a girl to get her. At the same time, what are you going to do? You're going to get whatever. I mean, every guy's going to get laid at some point. Like you just go down the mall, old AZD analogy. You just go down the mall, you can see any number of fat, sloppy, ugly couples that they got together and they procreated even. They'll have kids with them. Like it doesn't take much to get a girl to sleep with you. Yeah, it won't start over here. I don't know why. Well, whatever. But are you set? Is that like where you want to end up? Or you think you're going to all of a sudden magically get a better relationship than you had in the past if you just like keep living forward, like day by day, month by month, year by year goes by? And, maybe as a man, you make a little bit more money, you get more into your career. And I think a lot of guys are defaulting to that. I don't know if they just find it unbelievable or if it's just daunting to them. And they're like, I just don't want to get started at personal development or game, really, because that's the thing. There are many personal development coaches, Tony Robbins and all the sales coaches and everything. And I never see anybody come out of those camps or those schools of training and they're better with women. They maybe have more spunk in them and, they're more enthusiastic about their job and, they hit it and they grind it out, but they're not any better with women. And of course, women love money, but that doesn't mean they love the man. Like, and what is love anyway? But that's where it gets down to a core datum. And that's the thing. You get to see, you get the opportunity to see. It's not that you will see, but you get the opportunity to see your character flaws in relationship with any relationship, really. But there are any number of aspects that you just will never see outside of a male-female relationship, like that romantic, close of heart, you build a life, that kind of thing. Like you're going to see a lot of shadowy aspects, or you have the opportunity to see a lot of shadowy aspects of your character. What's up, everybody? If you want to come live, just request to go live. And so the thing about it is, I mean, you got to get into really the red pill of men and women. Women are designed to control the man if they can. And they'll control him through her preferences, among other things. So she has a preference, and he'll, over time, mold himself to be for her. And she doesn't really know what she wants. She has a lot of chaos in her, but she definitely wants control of the man if she can. It's just her genetics. She'll control him so he provides and then get with a more alpha male, and he'll provide for the offspring of the more alpha male. And that's just in every woman's nature. Most women aren't expressing that overtly. Some are. And many women would deny it, but that's what's happening in their life. That's why they put two males against each other and all sorts of the female nature. And it's not like you're going to be battling it out with a bunch of chimpanzees every day of your life, but it only takes one or two episodes. You can have a 10-year relationship and it breaks on that. And it's like, damn, you just invested all that in that relationship with that woman for it to break because you had a weak character in a situation. And when you mold yourself more and more to be with that woman, when you're not with that woman, which is inevitable for almost all monogamous relationships. What's your opinion about a girl or a woman that says she's a lesbian, but when I come around her, and then it cuts off. So I don't know what that second part is. If you want to write that second part, and that when you do get out of that relationship, you're actually not ready for the next one. That you've been molded, you've been orbiting that girl, and you've been yin to her yang, and she made you into a certain way, and then you're not better for the next woman. You're out of touch with the next woman. So a lot of guys get worse and worse if they're in relationships. And if they're not in relationships, they're also getting worse and worse because the culture keeps moving forward. Women are being hounded left and right by men. thirsty men all the time being thrown offerings and all kinds of things. And different men have different pluses and minuses. They do have some character bonuses, but all men have a lot of character flaws also. So she may go with the guy that has better character. A lot of times she'll just go with the better resources, whatever, status, things like that. But at the end of the day, you don't have to look too far to see the billionaires and the celebrities and things that the women cheat on them. That the fame and the clout and the status and the riches doesn't keep a woman loyal. And so there's something else that she's just so attracted to. If you can have both, then you can keep the woman and have the woman and grow with the woman. Now, when you have someone like AZD that's had multiple relationships, you get to triangulate your character. You get feedback from this girl, this girl, this girl. It's not like she's telling you about her character, but you see it on her body. That's the delusion that a lot of guys are in. Oh, yeah, this guy wrote a comment. I'll get to it in a quick second. And the delusion is they're not able to read. Not yet. You have the ability, it's just numb. So you don't have the ability in present time to read all of the indication, positive and negative indications of the woman. And over time, when you're just with that one woman, she manipulates you, man. And you only have that one frame of reference for what is positive, what is negative. And when you have multiple women, you almost have like a survey, and you'll see the evil, manipulative nature of the woman when 2 or 3 or more other women don't have that same view. And there's something wrong with that one. You got to start to learn the nature of consciousness and entities and spirits and thoughts that just infiltrate and infects the surface of the earth. And it'll flip your girl, man. Her opinions will change. That's why she shouldn't lead. Because at least twice a month, she's going to get moody and change direction. Okay, let's get to Phil Starr's comment. What's your opinion about a girl or a woman that says she's a lesbian, but when I come around her, she can't stop wanting me? The way she laughs, the way she looks at me. Would love to know your opinion. Well, there's a lot of things in that, so that would really be useful to go live if you want to. But one, it's kind of related to what I was just saying. So, like, there was a guy, and he's not inexperienced. He's done some trainings with AZD. He's an Ivy League guy, and comes from money, whatever. And he was convinced that this ex-girl of his, which he didn't really fully break up with, but they like separated, was, quote, orbiting him. And that's like, when a girl is literally orbiting you geographically, like she's finding you in, let's say you're in a venue, she should be putting herself in locations that she keeps keeping an eye on you. And so you'll keep seeing her around the venue where she's just like, everywhere she is, she's in a straight line of sight, and she seems to be giving me FaceTime or body time or turn her back or something. Like, she's reacting to me. In life, she could be orbiting you where she's just like in and out of your sphere of influence. She's communicating sporadically or, kind of infrequently, maybe once a week, once a month or something. She's like an orbit or a real distant orbit versus what that guy's experiencing, which was radio silence for a month and a half. No replies to texts, no replies to calls. That's not orbiting, dude. You're not coming into the same vicinity. She's not in the same space as you. There's no orbit. She's not orbiting. She's actually ejected from your orbit. Or really, you've ejected from her orbit because you are orbiting her. And he's like, no. She's in my mind, and I'm just thinking about her, but it's not draining my energy. Bro, are you in her mind? How do you know? Because you're reaching out to her because she's on your mind, right? Why is she not reaching back? Because you're not on her mind. So you are orbiting her. She's considering not you. You're considering her. The earth cares a lot if the sun shines. The sun doesn't care so much if the earth is there. Like, it doesn't change much for the sun. So the one that's thinking about the other, that's the under. Now, a relationship, you're thinking about each other. I'm not saying don't ever think about the girl, but if she's not reciprocating, then what are your standards as a man and your boundaries? So that guy's in a delusion. So when you say that she's, really attracted to you, or she can't stop wanting me, what are you seeing? Okay, so you're saying that she laughs and the way she looks at you. Just because she's lesbian doesn't mean she's not feminine. So, and yeah, it's not in a woman's nature to be lesbian, like permanently. It's in her nature to be lesbian a little bit sometimes, given the right circumstances. If you just read the books, it makes sense. They put out the logic and surveys and everything, and they understand. And so I get it, but it's really warped. It's out of touch, and she obviously has no great man in her life. So, yeah, those are indications of interest if she's laughing at what you say and she's giving you like that look or whatever. But you're maybe reading more into it than you think. Like, then what? What do you do from there? Because if she's not, taking your lead and you're leading her into some sort of romantic or intimate kind of thing, then it's just a look and a laugh. She's a flirtatious friend. Would love to know your opinion. Uh, there's this. Oh, I thought there was something else. Yeah, you're right. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's what I think. So the reality of what's happening in your life with game, I think guys are in a lot of delusion about the girl really likes them or how interested the girl is or how loyal the girl is. Guys don't even confront it. If they have a girl, she's not being loyal. She's mingling her energies. Man, it's a hard subject to really even go into. A bunch of people on TikTok. You guys want to go live? Why don't you guys come live if you can? I'm going to request you. I can add you. Peter, what's up? Exclusive things, what's up? Let's talk about it. No, let's talk about it. What's up, Peter? Hey, man, been a minute. Oh, man. Vegas life is amazing. I got back into jiu-jitsu, so hella sore, but been taking ice baths, once or twice a day, every day. Whoa. Why? What? Why? Oh, right on. I never eaten so much that I got sick of it for 3 days, but we got a guy here, Gio. He was overweight. He hasn't eaten for, I think, about 185 hours right now. But seriously, he's going for 40 days. I think he'll make it. Like, it's incredible. I'm so inspired by that guy. It's definitely revealing his character, his certainty, his determination, his intelligence to do the research about like what the minimal he needs to consume, like this amount of oil and this amount of salt and whatever to like keep his brain functioning. And he's got so much energy. He's all animated in his communication. It's been 7 days he hasn't eaten, and he's going for 40. So it's pretty sick. Hell yeah. Right on. All right, bro. Yeah, man. Post it for sure. Dang. Yeah, man. Hey, if you get hungry, just boomerang a kangaroo. All right, brother. Well, be safe. Yeah, talk with you soon. All right. All right. Anybody else want to come live? Dialogue. Basically, the concept that I was going over is the delusion that guys are in, that they're mismeasuring the interest. You can see this in sales also, where you just don't, you're mismeasuring the interest of the person. And guys are totally, it's in their nature to assume that the girl is more interested than she is. Because if they're right, then they procreate. If they're wrong, then they already weren't procreating. So might as well gamble. If there's anything at all, hair flick, she kind of smiles, but she could have been smiling at the guy next to him, but he'll assume it's him and he'll go in that direction. And that's the nature of the man. So guys, when they're out of touch with communicating with people really about anything important. Like this guy I was talking about, he hadn't communicated at all about the breakup or whatever, half breakup with that girl. You could tell because he's like all stuttering through the story. And I don't think he's like traumatized by it. He's just like hasn't got the words out. So for a month and a half, he's just chewing in his mind about it. And then when it comes out, it's all warped by how he's been warping it. Because think about anything, but don't talk about it for a month and a half. Just keep thinking about it. And you're going to get pretty warped in your thinking about it. You're going to skip a lot of logic points and you're just going to kind of jump from here to there and jump to conclusions. It's like, bro, and it makes sense to the person because they're skipping through a whole series of logic that they're not able to convey. And because of that, they're skipping a beat. I mean, you just try to write a story or write a logical form of like, because of A, then B, and because of B, then C, and you write it out, and you'll see that you skip beats. Like people are not as logical as you think. A lot of people pride themselves in their logic because their logic stinks. It's just, a bunch of opinions just forcefully put like it's logical. No, that's emotional is what that is. And that's what women are. They're emotional and sometimes they'll say how logical they're being and they'll try to lecture you and be all making sense. It's like, bro, I already know. And you just got to know that she's just throwing waves of emotions at you with words and that she really don't know shit. And if she really did know her shit and she was so great like that, then you need a better man. Like, get away from me. You're just going to destroy me. Like, have that humility, like whatever. And at the end of the day, the woman doesn't need a man that makes more money than her. She doesn't need a man that is even more muscular than her. Like literally, you'd want that. You'd want to make more than the girl. You'd want to be more muscular. But the man that she can't break, that can always guide her unemotionally, it's going to be hard to resist. She may even hook up with other guys. But at the end of the day, like that's the long-term game. Like to be able to lead her through the end with certainty and not emotional, like that's. And then you got to be attractive. So the quality or the caliber of woman that you get will end up being how attractive you are in the front end of your game, your body, your money, your portrayal of yourself. And then in that matrix is where AZD comes in and just hacks it with character. He just gets underneath all of that stuff. And through his response, his animated movement, his look and his avatar and his voice is just, I mean, he's lecturing all the time. His voice is just, anybody that's ever lectured for hours or like I used to teach yoga for hours and hours and it's like something happens to your voice. And if you do that day after day after day, it's just like your voice gets to like a frequency or a range that just people don't have. It's not like but it's something else, man. It's just piercing for the mind because it stands out. Everything about him stands out. And you wouldn't know how much you're not standing out until you go and field with them. Like you're actually the guys are in delusion about how unique they are. Of course, you're unique as an individual, but you're largely unexpressed. Your uniqueness is mostly silent in your own head. And what you do say on the outside, the other people don't get. Going again, back to the example, the guy, he was convinced that he was the best guy for her until to this day, even though she hadn't communicated for a month and a half. And he's like, she knows I'm the best man for her. And I was like, how does she know? And he's like, well, I told her. And it's like, yeah, but did she agree? Like, is she duplicating what you said? If you're saying something to somebody and they don't agree or they don't duplicate what you're saying, then how good did you communicate? Now, they don't have to agree with everything. That's where you go back and forth and you come to some understanding. And if you can't come to an understanding, then either it's not important enough because you have difference of beliefs and you don't even want to get into it, or did you think they agreed and they really didn't? Have you ever had a disagreement with somebody where you told them to do something or they told you to do something and you thought you agreed, but you misunderstood them. And they thought you agreed, but you had misunderstood them. So the agreement was about something that you both agreed to something different. Like you had a misunderstanding. Okay. A lot of those means you're bad at communication. And how many of those happen in relationships is just so many. So many. So guys think they're all unique, but women are not agreeing to how unique you are. You think you're unique, but you're just like every other guy to them. A little bit different. You got blonde hair. Oh, you got muscles. Oh, you got tattoos. Oh, you do jujitsu. Oh, you're a stock trader. Like, but the character of the man is basically the same. Some are a little bit wittier, some are a little bit funnier, some are a little bit more aggressive, a little moodier, a little weaker. Like, but the range of man for most women is not very much because the range of man is not very much. It goes all the way down to the most retarded, pathetic. But I mean, in like the main dating pool, the range is not that much. There are some outliers at the top. And then of them, there's a huge outlier, AZD. because none of those outliers have 8 girlfriends, let alone fine girlfriends, let alone for many, many years. It's just the stats are just out of the ordinary every which way you look at it. So that guy has located character qualities of a man that seem to most influence the nature of the woman. That when she's not like consciously doing something, just the way her body's reacting, like you could see over time, especially with such a survey of women, that some things are attractive to women, some things aren't. Like we've come to the understanding in IMC Nation through AZD's teachings, and then the guys being able to see it for themselves because it's told to them, and some agree, some don't, some question it, whatever. And then now that information's in our head, we go back to our lives and our relationships, and we see it play out. But we were blind to it until it was said to us. And one of those things might be if you act sick or you act sick or injured. Maybe you are sick or injured. I come back from jiu-jitsu, I'm all limping and shit yesterday, sore, pass out like 9:30. Like if you're injured, weak, in a weakened state, if you're sad about something, like weakness gets attacked by the woman. You can't expect the girl to be so nurturing. There's plenty of examples of guys getting injured, woman breaks up with them. Guy has some life-threatening injury, like a back break or something. Wife leaves him. We're in love forever. So many examples over and over. The woman is designed to lose attraction for a man that gets weaker. You could say, well, had no control of that car accident or slipping and hurting your knee or the sickness that you fell or whatever. She doesn't care. Her nature doesn't care. Just like your nature doesn't care if that woman's not your girlfriend. She has big tits and they're basically falling out. You look. It's in your nature. Her nature is to look away from you when you turn weaker for any reason. Any reason. Your mom dies, you get depressed, she loses attraction for you. She doesn't care. Her conscious mind might care. She may have some like loyalty there, but most of our actions and our habits are not conscious. You're not thinking about every breath. You're not thinking about every chew of food. You're not thinking about going to the bathroom or showering, how you sit. Unless you do yoga or some Pilates or some shit, you're not that conscious of your posture. And the thing about it is when you do like yoga or Pilates, then you become very aware of your posture. Then you're like, oh shit, I'm very unaware of my posture when you start becoming aware of it. It's the same thing with your game. You haven't been studying game. You've been watching entertaining clips on TikTok or YouTube or wherever you find clips. Entertaining clips. You're not studying game. That'd be like somebody watching clips of bodybuilding, but not bodybuilding. Or watching clips of bodybuilding and just doing some push-ups or going to the gym, but not having really a routine, not having discipline with your diet. Like you're not really bodybuilding. You're just like lifting and whatever you could call it bodybuilding is, I guess, at the most primitive state. That's like the guy who goes to the bar and gets drunk and just walks up to a girl sometimes and walks away depressed. And 100 times he might get one or two, and so he gets laid. That's the guy that goes to the gym, lifts, has no discipline, no routine, no tried and true method, and not studying the grades. He's just being a dilettante, dabbling, putting his foot in the water. You think women are attracted to someone who just puts their foot in the water to see? Like, nah. Committed guys who show excellence and the potential for excellence and the manifestation of excellence. Excellence begets excellence. You learn how to do it. Okay, I got a bunch of like messages coming in here. Or no. Bunch of people join. Request to join. What is this? Oh, Phil Starr. Sorry, I am high and can't go live. I will trip out. Whatever. But I'm pretty sure you're 100% right. I'm overthinking it. And if I was on her mind, she would try. Well, you just got to learn how to lead. I don't know exactly what you're saying. I mean, she's looking at you. She's smiling. It depends on social dynamics. Are you alone with her? Are you with her girlfriend? Are you with other friends? Are you out? Are you at your house? Like so many things. But, you know, I would just go with the body language. And then you just have to learn not how to not like violate. It's one of the biggest things that we do in the strip clubs. Some guys have a lot of issues. Like, why do you guys train in strip clubs? Because it's so easy to be fooled in a strip club. Those girls are most experienced when it comes to flirting. They're actually not, a lot of them are very sexually, obviously traumatized, like every hot girl, but they're not promiscuous. Some of them are, but more than half, like probably 75% are very just closed off sexually. And they're all dancing on guys or whatever, but it's not that. And so the guy falls in a trance when the girl's like on him or flirting with him or whatever. And then he starts being out of character. And that's what we train is character. That can you accept a beautiful woman liking you, flirting with you, touching you? She's basically naked almost. And you don't break character. And you just keep seducing her to where she wants to meet you out of the club, to where she wants to come to where she wants to be in a relationship with you, knowing that you go to other strip clubs. Like, you can't do it. You try. It's the training grounds of the champions. But so uh, removing neediness and, sexuality from your interactions with her, like that anyway. But at the same time, leading because you're naturally a sexual man. Like it's just a lot of refinements of character that to be able to navigate that. Okay, so that's where AZD trainings come in. And guys, if you're not on any trainings, then start with the newsletter because it's free. Got a tickle in my throat. The newsletter's in the bio, imcbase1.com/join, or it's in the descriptions on the YouTube. So that's 100 pieces of content from AZD that you won't find on TikTok or Instagram or anything that will blow your mind, man. It'll totally reframe how you see the social matrix, interactions, and influence. His content, the stuff in the newsletter, will bring you back to the nature and also decondition your imagination so that you can use your imagination better. You'll be able to do what's called shape shifting, embodying animals, embodying other entities or organisms to gain perspective on things. Just getting your perspective outside of your own two eyes behind in your head and see what's happening. They cover a lot of different topics, but it's mostly very short stories that AZD has written that, like any short story, transfers a perspective. That's what a story is. But his perspectives come from the mating code. Like I said, the guy's got 8 girlfriends, and it's tried and true for many years. So it's not just like somebody that fell into 8 relationships. Like he's had 8 relationships for a long time. And his perspectives are from that mountaintop of relationships. You may not want to be a player or a dating coach, but maybe you just want more fulfillment in your relationship. Maybe you want to know how to get that girl. I tell you, it's a rabbit hole, and it's kind of a curse even if you get that girl. If you use any tricks or gambits to get a girl, it's going to bite you in the ass real hard because at some point you run out of tricks and she's going to know your character. That's why there's no way around it. You have to develop your character as a man. How aware you are of what she means, what she says, your responses, how much emotions have influence over you, which are going to be linked to things like your mom and your dad, money, and all sorts of things, religion. So it's like you got to transcend those things if you want to transcend your innate results with women. I started the stream saying a lot of guys, and I like it how they say that, they don't want to game a girl. They just want to, it's essentially the essence of that. They want the girl to like them for them. That's not what they're saying. They're more like saying, the women come to them. And that's what you want. It's like, it's not that she approaches you. It's that God or the universe or whatever, the world, the matrix puts the woman in front of you. And it's effortless. When you talk to her, the conversation starts effortlessly. She starts liking you effortlessly. She wants to be in a relationship and you didn't have to try. Yeah, every guy wants that. But now, is there a limitation? Are you getting 10s or getting 9s or getting 8s? Like, what is the world naturally giving you? Because that's your value to the mating matrix. So can you change your value to the mating matrix without losing yourself? Yeah. In fact, you gain yourself because the reason why you're not getting your results is because you're mimicking a lot of low value behaviors. You've adopted low value behaviors from role models and media and everything, and you haven't looked at it. You haven't revisited your habits because you're stuck in your own delusion. You think you're right. Like most guys, they all think they're right. Everybody in the world thinks they're right. Women think they're right. Every individual thinks they're right. It takes a very unique kind of individual to step out of themselves and be humble and go to a teacher and say, I'm wrong. I need your help. Especially in dating, in communication, in life, very intimate subjects. So, that's what it is. You have to empty your cup, or you're just destined for whatever you're already programmed for. You'll keep getting the results and gradually descend into the matrix because, you're not getting better with time, not at mating. Or you'll go to some fake ass coaches. Some of them get results, some of them don't. Results meaning they fuck hot girls. Some of them do. They don't keep relationships, but then you'll learn a bunch of tips and tricks for, fooling a girl into liking you. And then the relationship will still break because your character is lacking. There's no character development coaches when it comes to women. You can develop your character in acting. You can develop your character as a salesman or something, but there's no character development coaches with women. There's only coaches who teach you mimicry, copying someone else, sound bites, jokes, stories, clever tricks of the mind or imagination or something to fool a woman into liking you. Little manipulation tactics that don't come from authenticity. They could come from authenticity and then it'd be different. But the fakeness is so obvious to a man like me who's been around AZD for years and seen the real deal. The real deal that he doesn't have to convince the girl to be with him. He is just the best choice for the highest value women around that we find, really. It's pretty amazing. It's as amazing as I make it sound and then a lot more. I can't even do it justice, but I do my best. Okay. All right, everybody. That's a wrap. I'll see you guys on the next stream. And go to imcbase1.com, see curriculums, see the newsletter. It's free. And come do residency, man, if you want to see the real matrix of women and how to do this thing. What kind of behavior beats money, beats celebrity? It's just cutting. It's like hearing that sound that just cuts through all the other sounds. But it's not annoying. It's beautiful. It's like, whoa, that's the game. That's masculinity. It should be beautiful. Real courtship is beautiful to watch because it's like, it's the nature. Even in ugly people, if you see like real feelings, real courtship happening. Now, where the man is seducing the woman. You know, seeing a woman seduce a man and he falls under trance or whatever is ugly to me because that man is weak. He's a liability. He can't raise kids. He can't fight a war. He'll betray his friends for that woman. But to see a man in dominance and power seduce a woman all the way throughout, where he doesn't lose his character or his presence, man, that's inspiring. Just like Gio fasting for 7 days, going on 8 days now, it's inspiring, man. Seeing a guy who games and gets tens and keeps them for years, the reality of what is being communicated. What is the authentic communication that's totally heartfelt and authentic, sincere, that gets the 10? Huh. When you see it, you're like, fuck. Like you could do it, but then when you go to do it, you're so fake. You don't know how to do it. And then you try to mimic and then you're fake again. And it's like, okay, how do I do it without doing it? How do I do it without mimicking? It's where you got to find your character. That's what AZD coaches you on. His mentorships guide you to how do you do what he does in your way. It's just a way of doing it. He's playing the song on piano. How can you play it on guitar? How can you play it on saxophone? Like you are your own instrument. So his teachings of game are just the inner structures of the mind and mindset that manifest as proper game and proper relationships. It's all inner game what he teaches. And it's been demonstrated again and again that the inner structure of consciousness in the mind of humans is basically the same physics for everybody. It's just we have different ideas and information that we're working with. So each person has their own beliefs that they've built off. If you had the exact same data that they had growing up and the imprints from parents and everything, you'd probably be just like them. Like the mind is basically the same in everyone. It's just been programmed differently. So you got to deprogram a lot of it and realign the rest. And that's how you modify your character without losing your essence. Because if you were born somewhere, wherever you were born, and then you were raised in a faraway country, foreign, China, Japan, Russia, Antarctica, wherever, Inuits in Alaska or something, you were you, but you were raised in a different culture at the age of 2 days old. You'd speak that language and you know nothing about what you know now. You'd still be you, but you'd be a totally different persona. That persona is fake. It's just what was conditioned and raised around your environment. And it's going to get you the results in women, business, clients, and what kind of relationships you get. So that version, that persona of you can be modified. And to do it well, you have to connect to the spirit essence behind it so that you can let go of your persona so it can rearrange. And that's where AZD does his magic. It's called alchemy, personality alchemy, or character alchemy. Okay, that's what the trainings are. Go to imcbase1.com, check it out, all the descriptions. DM me, Instagram, whatever, TikTok, the accounts that you're seeing this on. J Guru Dev, be the best, fuck the rest. IMC Nation Vegas. Os.